Paul or Dave. Dave?
Frank, I have a question. West Ham, I mean, David.
Sorry, I was just pointing at Dave. Thank you.
Frank, just two things on Dele. One, it was an incredibly brave decision in many ways to bring him on at half-time, because not a lot of people would have thought that, given that he's had so little game time, he's not showing much, that he would be able to deliver the composure and the quality that he did. So I was just sort of wondering about that. Is that your instinct? Is that you go for the quality?
Yeah, and I mentioned before, a few areas in midfield we've got some issues, but I don't think they were the defining factor in my choice. It was more what was needed in the game, and to be fair to Dele, in the last 2 or 3 weeks he's trained well. I can see in his face he's disappointed sometimes he's not playing, and as I said before, I'm not silly to that or adverse to it, but I know his qualities, I saw them, that's why I brought him to the club, and people will question, why has he not got so much game time? There were reasons probably behind the scenes for that, but when it came to the moment, it was a desperate moment for us at half time, and my feeling with Dele is that that because of the levels he's reached in his career so far, in his younger career, he can handle these situations and games like this, because he played in Champions League, he's played for his country, he's played at a really high level. So it was, do you question it? Yeah, because he hasn't been able to play regularly. That's not easy for players, but can he deliver? He showed he can.
I just wonder, I mean, obviously you're not going to say what those issues are behind the scenes, but what he showed tonight was that he does have that capacity.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what that means for his future, and whether you can sort of develop that.
Well, I'll tell him. I briefly told him tonight, and it's probably easier. I'm a manager now. He'd probably go, "Oh yeah, thanks. You give me 45 minutes, and now you're telling me how great I did and affected the game." The reality is that when Dele came here, I never saw it as a short-term, okay, we're going to get a huge uplift short-term necessarily. It had to be a work in progress, and that's not easy for a 25-year-old to take and understand. So I think today, hopefully, is a real lift for him. He should take a lift from it, because he affected our staying in the Premier League. And then after Sunday, go away and have a really good summer and come back and train, give everything pre-season, train and give everything to reach those levels regularly, because that player we saw there is a really high level player, and that makes me really happy to see it, and he deserves it.
Chris?
I mean, I know as great as tonight is, it still is the message going forward that Everton can't be in situations like this again. This is a too big a club to be fighting for relegation.
But is it? I understand that, but is it what right does Everton have to be Premier League safe every year, and that will continue forevermore? I know there are a lot of decisions that have to be made and performances that have to do, and my job has to be done as well as it can be to make sure that happens. So it's I answer your question. I think in the way you're saying it is, we need to try and find those improvements to make sure it's not, but nothing's given or taken. We were in our position because we deserve to be. It's important to say that tonight. A great feeling, but the things we can do to make it better are things that we have to work and affect.
You honestly want to, I suppose, harness this goodwill and that everything that's come behind you in the last few weeks to bring that into the next season? Yeah,
I do, and again, I think that will come from the work, because we can't expect 10,000 people to turn up and parade us in every game. It doesn't work that way. They've dragged us over the line with that kind of behaviour, but at the same time, we as a club now need to start fresh from zero next season, which is a nice thing, particularly a nice thing for me to come in and have a pre-season start at zero, rather than looking downwards and where can you get to, and make the decisions in the meantime that mean we improve. So it's the goodwill and the good feeling has been great, but we have to affect it, myself, everybody at the club who can actually affect it.
Frank, going forward, can West Ham be an example to follow, from nearly relegated to steadily climbing up the table, playing Euro? I mean, your first club, your first love, West Ham. Can it be an example to follow for this club?
Yeah, I think there are various examples of clubs that get promoted that stick with the same idea and stay with a bit of consistency and recruit well. West Ham's a great example of it, because they've got a really good coach, really good recruitment, and players that have come through their academy that are a huge. Declan Rice is a huge player. That's probably a bit of a one-off, but there are teams that you look around like Brighton have come up, like what Brentford have done this season. There are things we have to do to move forward, and I believe we have good people at the club with good intention that we can do that, but the proof will only be in our actions and showing that next year.
Any further questions?
Thanks everyone.
Okay, thanks guys.